We start with tragedy just days before Christmas. A shooting in a parking lot near Pearl Ridge left a woman dead.
Honolulu police held a press conference that just concluded a short while ago. Our Jim Beniz is there.
There was no dramatic legal issue before the court. The message I got was that she loved him, but she was frightened for him. I try to read between the lines to see whether or not anyone's in jeopardy. And the only one that was in jeopardy, based on what the mother said, his wife, was him.
No, he stalked my daughter. He stalked her. He assassinated her. I'm going to look at her body tomorrow. I'm going to see what condition, what he did to my daughter.
Okay, gotta go. Call me when you want to be honest. I'm so disgusted and sick right now. I'm leaving.
Why didn't you call me back? And I'd be like, why are you so obsessed with me? Feel stupid. What? Everyone feels stupid. Who cares? You feel stupid? Yeah, I did. And then I just chose not to feel stupid. I'm obsessed with my mom.
So you're saying you're her favorite?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm her favorite. We actually have a relationship like she has no other kids. Yeah. We're always like those over there. It's just her and I in the sunset.
Actually, no, I don't want to go anymore.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding, see you in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just kidding, we're not going.
On an island of Oahu in Hawaii, a mother and businesswoman would head to meet her mother for breakfast with her 8-year-old daughter in tow. That mother, 33-year-old Teresa Cotuelu, would pull into a parking lot near the Pearl Ridge Center and would head to the Bank of Hawaii around 10:15 a.m. on December 22nd, 2023. However, Teresa never made it inside the bank or to meet her mother because she would be tragically gunned down, and the incident would bring to light the seriousness of DV and the need for better protective measures in relationships. "33-year-old Teresa Cotuelu grew up and lived on the island of Oahu, which is the most populous island of the Hawaii Islands. It is also where the capital of Hawaii is located, which is Honolulu. It is a beautiful island, and it has beautiful scenery, and it's probably the most popular place that people travel to of the Hawaii Islands. I personally love this island and going there and going to the beaches on the North Shore. One would think, with all the sun and beautiful places to see, most people there would be happy and not depressed. However, this is far from the truth, and this story that I'm going to tell you about is going to lay out the importance of addressing your mental issues, because no matter where you live, there will be problems. No matter how much money you have, there will be problems. And if you don't address those problems, it can lead to a devastating outcome. Teresa and her husband, 44-year-old Jason Cotuelu, will face some major obstacles that the couple of 11 years never thought they would have when they began dating back in 2012. In the beginning, for most couples, that is when the relationship is at its best. For some, you realize after time that the person you fell in love with is not the person you know now, and you may choose to leave that relationship, but at what cost? Statistics show that if someone is in a very bad relationship and they are trying to leave, this is when their life is in the most danger. In the weeks leading up to the tragedy, Teresa, known as Bunny Bontiti on social media, obtained a temporary restraining order against her estranged husband, Jason. She had documented multiple instances of threats and traumatic experiences involving him, including instances where he threatened to take himself out while wielding a knife. Despite her efforts to seek protection through a legal system, it failed her and ultimately resulting in tragic consequences. As I already said, Teresa and Jason started dating in 2012 and both came into the relationship with 2 kids. Teresa had a son who is now 15 and a daughter who is now 13, and Jason had a son who is now 18 and a daughter who is now 20. The couple seemed to be a power couple, and both were hustlers at heart. Teresa would move into Jason's 9-bedroom, 5.5 bath home around 2013, and the couple would continue to work hard for their kids. Teresa was a makeup artist at the mall and dreamed of having her own makeup business, and Jason was a business owner as well. In 2015, the couple will welcome their one and only child together, a little girl who is now 8. Around 2016, Teresa would start her own lash business under the LLC House of Glam Hawaii online and would eventually get a storefront beauty shop bearing the same name. Around the same time, Jason had a clothing business that he owned called Bad Business. On top of the multiple businesses, Teresa was a social media influencer and loved talking about her faith in the Lord.
She's a 10. She's a beautiful girl, but she puts God before you in a relationship. Does that still make her a 10?
Am I healing emotionally?
But you know what? I was so madly in love with him.
In Hawaii Islands, Teresa was well known for her positive spirit and for her love to help others. She would also do free makeup for prom for kids who could not afford it, and she would do makeup classes for those who wanted to learn the art. She truly wanted to give back in any way she could. Teresa and Jason would tie the knot in November 2017 in a beautiful ceremony, and it was a joyful time. However, the spark in their marriage would become dim some years down the road, and Teresa was said to have tried everything to fix what was broken between them. Now, Jason did not have a bad history at all, no criminal record, but at some point, he started to behave very erratically. Teresa was heavy on praying and would pray with him all the time, and the family would even get baptized together. This was definitely a moment that was touching, and she had faith that things could be good. As a young child, it was said that Teresa grew up in foster care and considered her circumstance she was a light even when she had darkness of her own. Teresa would even defend the love she had for her biological mother, with whom she became close with, and shared the love for her mother with her followers. This is what she wrote next to a video of doing her mother's makeup. I often get asked where I get my strength and faith in God from, and it's from this woman right here. Truth is, she's been through some of the most traumatic things you can imagine, but you would never know that her resilience, even when she wanted to give up, was unmatched. She always apologizes for not being there enough for me as a child and young woman. The truth is, she believes me when it matters most, and for that, I told her she has a past for life. I watched this woman bounce back from literally anything, and each time she walked in her shadow and walked in her light. She always praised God, and a woman like that is what I call blessed. So meet my mommy, Lucita, or as we call her, Mamacita. I'm grateful that today my mama can call me and tell me how proud she is of me. I know Mother's Day has already passed, but I feel honored that I can still pick up the phone and call her. When my heart is weak and my thoughts are scattered, I can still hug her and call her name. So you can see she respected her mother and just showed how good of a heart Teresa had. Teresa would end up moving out of the home she shared with her husband after about 10 years there in 2022, so she could officially separate and then file for divorce. After she left the home, things Jason was said to have done would be scary, stalkerish, and narcissistic, to say the least. He seemed to desperately need help mentally, and family tried to help him, but unfortunately, he chose the wrong path. These were some of the most recent reports in December 2023. On the 6th, he made claims that he would take his own life in front of Teresa and their kids, even at one point holding something to his neck in front of Teresa, scaring and traumatizing her, according to the police report. Jason was said to pop up every day, making the same claims daily, and even hiding in the garage of her home. On the 10th of December, Teresa's brother would go live when Jason had another episode that night and followed his wife and family around all day, and it would be found out that he had trackers put on the vehicles that they were driving.
You still over here in Oahu? Today is my sister's 32nd birthday. We're staying at our cousin's house to celebrate my sister's birthday. And she's going through a divorce. And we got a rental car. And her husband put a tracking device on the rental car. And on her vehicle as well. So he's been tracking us all day, where we're going, where we've been all day. And then now when we got home, he followed us home and he started chasing my cousin. And now we're dealing with that right now.
Now, this is day after day harassment, and police have been called on multiple times at this point. As Teresa grew more concerned, she would file an order of protection against Jason. She alleged that in the paperwork that she was concerned for him and wanted him to get help. She never had claimed that he put his hands on her, not even once. She said Jason was extremely psychologically harmful, and through his actions, he wanted cohesive control, which can range from isolating someone from their family and friends, controlling what they eat, wear, or do, controlling who you are allowed to see and spend time with, monitoring your behavior online and in person, and tracking you, for example, like using your phone or car. And he was doing all of these already. The Wednesday before the tragedy, on December 20th, Teresa and Jason, alongside his attorney, will go to court about the order of protection Teresa filed a few weeks back. Teresa was granted a temporary order of protection, and Jason was ordered to stay 100 yards from her. And with that, he still was able to see his daughter they shared together every other weekend, and that custody arrangement was going to start the weekend before Christmas. However, the protection order was in place from December 20th, 2023 to December 20th, 2024. On December 21st, Teresa would make one last social media post that stated, "Finally, a place where I don't burst into tears at the thoughts of what I was going through. Yes, it's a part of my story, and I am no longer carrying the heavy burden of someone else's actions. I'm free." Sadly, it would be less than 24 hours later, and Teresa would be tragically taken away from her family. See, according to family and friends, Jason hired one of the best attorneys on the island to represent him, so he was able to probably get more access than he should have because he was able to afford a really good lawyer. Now, on December 22nd, that Friday morning, Teresa will pull into the parking lot next to the Bank of Hawaii, where she was going to run into before meeting her mother. She was with her daughter, and when they stepped out the vehicle, Jason appeared out of nowhere and shot Teresa multiple times, with the first shot to the head. Their daughter witnessed the whole thing and watched her father take off running after the fact. Sadly, Teresa lost her life right then and there, and her own daughter is the one who had to call 911 to tell what happened. Family will be notified quickly and will rush to the scene completely devastated and heartbroken, as Jason was now on the run.
I thought that there was a chance at reconciliation. And now to hear this, my heart breaks.
Jason Cachuela's attorney last saw both of them at a court hearing on Wednesday, in which Jason was granted visitation rights to their 8-year-old daughter every other weekend, starting this holiday weekend.
Whether it's Christmas, whether it's just another day of the week, it is so heartbreaking for children. And I never saw this coming. And I've been doing this a long time.
Witnesses say Jason shot Teresa in front of their daughter.
She doesn't believe it. She doesn't believe her mom is gone. I don't believe it.
Jason was largely unknown to many, leaving people shocked at what could have driven him to commit such a horrific act in a public space. It now appears that he was dealing with serious personal turmoil leading up to the tragic event. It would be a few hours later, and police would announce that Jason was located behind a home, unalived by a self-inflicted wound. I would find out the location. Come to find out, it was just right behind the home that he shared with her.
I just wanted to hop on here real quick to raise awareness about the corruption that goes on in politics, and when people have money to pay to get away with things. Because when we were in Oahu, this guy was chasing us down, tracking down the vehicles, following us, stalking us all day where we were going, even when we were getting the matching tattoos, everything. And the cops didn't do anything about it. He hired the most expensive lawyer or whatever when court date came around. And then this guy paid his way for visitation rights for his daughter that he shouldn't even be seen. And then now look. He killed her. And then he killed himself. But my point is that we gotta expose the corruption that goes on. and we got to fight.
According to Jason's attorney, Michael Green, there was no apparent signs of violent tendencies towards Teresa or the children. The negotiations they made that Wednesday, December 20th, mainly focused on visitation rights and concerns related to self-harm rather than threats posed to others. According to court records, Jason was supposed to hand over all his firearms that he owned as a part of the TPO, but apparently he did not fully comply. Family said despite all the proof and bad things happening and the temporary restraining order, officers did not check on Jason and make sure he was not harassing or following Teresa. Another child, sadly, seeing something so traumatic and devastating, and it's just not okay. Teresa was trying to do all the things the right way, but in the end, as bad as it may sound, that piece of paper is not going to stop a perpetrator. I wish she could have left the island altogether, but now it's too late. Teresa was very supportive of her kids, and she did everything she could to protect him. She was super loving and an amazing woman, according to her family. Her kids will honor her life and thank everyone for support.
I want to let everybody know that my mom would love for all of you to open your hearts to Jesus Christ because she wants you to be saved. Amen. My mom loves every one of you guys. And again, I just want to say thank you for coming and showing support and respect. Just know that she loves all of you guys and I love all of you guys. Thank you everybody for coming.
Hi everybody, my name is Gigi and I just wanted to say thank you everybody for the support and I really appreciate it.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Teresa's daughter would write on an Instagram post, "Mommy, I love you. I can't believe I lost you already. You were my person and my peace. You have taught me so much more in this world. I miss you dearly. Mommy, I love you with all my heart. Please have peace in heaven." And that right there shows the strength her kids have in the way she raised them. I think one of the things that may have set him off too as well, even though she did not personally post a person, she did this post here, and she probably was started to date someone else because her daughter would make a post later on and say, "My mom really wanted to post this." So it looks like she may have possibly, even though she was still legally married, she possibly was already with someone that she was going to marry, possibly. But that's all alleged. I'm not sure, but from the looks of it, it looks like she might have been dating. And that's probably why he became even more stalkerish. The horrendous acts committed by Jason, followed by his own unaliving, points to a very complex psychological state, seriously. One, to understand every aspect of his personality and his motives is challenging, but this story serves as a reminder of the unpredictable and often hidden nature of DA. My deepest thoughts and prayers are with all involved, and let me know, do you think that the law did all they could, or did they fail Teresa? Also, don't forget to comment your prayers for this family in their difficult time, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember, stay woke. Things change quickly.